Brad Sherman is not a serious person.
I want a yes or no. Reclaiming my time. The filibustering takes place in the Senate, not here.
I'm not filibustering. I'm trying to answer your question.
During a House hearing, Brad kept throwing drawn-out questions while insisting on yes or no answers. But Marco wouldn't bite and was sure to shut him down. And today, we're covering it all. So, if you enjoy content that cuts through that noise, hit the subscribe button and let's jump right into it.
Secretary Rubio, in the 1970s, there was a powerful Middle East monarch who claimed to be a friend of the United States. Wasn't right. And so in the 1970s, we transferred enormous, sophisticated weapons to him. In 1979, the Shah was deposed and all those weapons were in the hands of the Ayatollah. Today, MBS wants a nuclear weapon. But he says what he wants is a nuclear cooperation agreement. Well, we have a nuclear cooperation agreement with the United Arab Emirates and Turkey and Morocco that all provide for a gold standard of safety. Can you assure us that you will not enter into a nuclear cooperation agreement with Saudi Arabia that does not have that same gold standard of security to make sure they're not building a nuclear weapon?
Well, first I will tell you that there has been no conversation about entering into one. For example, during the recent trip.
Can you, I've got limited time.
So here's the thing. I can
Sir, either give me a yes, give me a no.
Well, I'm going to give you my answer if you want my answer.
I want a yes or a no. Reclaiming my time.
Well, reclaim your time, but it's not a game show. I get to answer. These are complex questions. Let me answer.
Mr. Secretary, I'm reclaiming my time. The filibustering takes place in the Senate, not here.
I'm not filibustering. I'm trying to answer your question.
First of all, there are a lot of half-truths in Brad's statement. Yes, MBS did say Saudi Arabia would pursue nuclear weapons, but that was specifically in the context of Iran getting them first, which is a very different thing from the kingdom recklessly chasing nukes no matter what. Secondly, had he let Rubio answer, he'd come to learn that there is indeed a draft agreement in place that would make American companies the kingdom's civil nuclear cooperation partners of choice, and ensures that everything will be done in a manner consistent with strong non-proliferation standards. On top of that, PBS recently reported the draft deal would see the two countries enter safeguard agreements with the UN's nuclear watchdog. This is all consistent with statements the Energy Secretary has made since November of last year. But I guess a quick yes or no is far better than having an actual discussion. And Brad kept going, switching to Iran next.
Let's go on to the next question. With regard to Iran, can you assure us that you will continue sanctions on Iran until they verifiably agree to abandon all enrichment? That's a yes or no question.
No, it's not.
Well, can you give me a yes or no, or should I go on to the next question?
We believe that Iran should not be allowed to enrich uranium. Correct.
You believe that it should?
We believe that an acceptable deal with Iran is one in which they cannot enrich, because if they can enrich, they can weaponize.
I know why we don't want. I asked you, will we agree? Will we continue the sanctions until they verifiably agree to get rid of?
Oh, you have no worry about us. The worry was the previous administration. This administration has been
refusal to give me an answer is loud and clear.
No, I'd
is
like to
reclaiming my time.
You know what's ironic? Right before Sherman started going off on Marco, he criticized the chairman for bringing in think tank witnesses and demanded more government officials testify before the committee. Yet when Rubio showed up, he barely let the guy answer a single question. The thing is, these aren't partisan issues, as both sides generally agree that more countries enriching uranium is a dangerous path, and no sane person wants a theocratic regime ending up with nuclear weapons. So watching him turn the hearing into pure political theater is ridiculous to say the least. But I guess that's honestly the name of the game now. Create viral moments first and worry about substance later. Brad then pivoted again, this time throwing corruption accusations at the administration, going as far as suggesting Trump was taking Chinese money. But before we get there, we have a quick message from today's sponsor. Recently, President Trump signed an executive order declaring it critical for national security that the United States rapidly increase domestic mineral production. The reasoning is straightforward. Our defense systems, infrastructure, and advanced technologies all depend on minerals that are still heavily sourced from hostile foreign power. Take titanium. It's essential for F-35 fighter jets, naval destroyers, and advanced radar systems, while China currently controls 60% of the global supply chain. The White House has made its position clear. The US needs a secure and reliable domestic titanium source. That's where Saga Metals enters the picture, trading as SAGMF in the US and Saga in Canada. Through its radar titanium project in Labrador, the company is advancing what could become a major strategic asset for North America. Recent drilling delivered the strongest results in Saga's history, including exceptionally high-grade titanium zones that are rarely encountered at this scale, and the momentum keeps building. Saga recently secured $10 million in financing dedicated entirely to drilling, giving the company strong support to expand exploration. They also strengthened their position by acquiring another titanium asset in the same district as the world's largest titanium mine. What's interesting too is that they secured that ground while Rio Tinto, one of the biggest mining companies on the planet, was actively targeting the region. With year-round drilling, strong financing, major results, and rising government focus on domestic supply chains, Saga sits in a powerful position. So, if you want to learn more about them, check the link in the description, because this story is gaining serious traction.
Mr. Chair, you told us about all these wonderful business deals that were announced in the Middle East. I am sure that the only deals announced in the Middle East that will actually happen were the bribery deals, the $400 million plane and the $2 billion Abu Dhabi will put into the cryptocurrency sponsored by Mr. Trump. TikTok. Mr. Secretary, you led the effort to say that it shouldn't be controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. We passed a law with your help. That law requires that we ban TikTok now because all of the expiration dates have expired. But instead, we saw Chinese interests affiliated with TikTok transfer $300 million into the Trump coin, which is a pure gift. It's $300 million for nothing but monopoly money. And so there's a word in Mandarin for this. It's called bribery. And it raises the question that I'll ask you to respond to for the record, and that is there any statute this administration will not violate for a $300 million Chinese bribe?
At some point, you have to ask what the purpose of these hearings is if witnesses are not allowed to respond. Sure, members of Congress can technically use their 5 minutes however they want, but this kind of grandstanding is getting absurd. Now, to be fair, that last story does have some small truth to it. A small Chinese company listed on NASDAQ reportedly bought around $300 million worth of various cryptocurrencies, including the Trump coin tied to the Trump family. But that has absolutely nothing to do with TikTok, the Qatari plane being refurbished into the next Air Force One, or the other things Brad tried lumping together. And honestly, if he truly believes corruption is taking place, he is a sitting congressman. So if there is any real evidence, that is grounds for impeachment. Bringing it up before the Secretary of State doesn't change a thing.
We next focus on the on USAID. Musk gutted it. He said no one died as a result. Or do you agree that no one has died yet as a result of the chainsawing of USAID? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, the question is, has anyone what?
Has anyone in the world died because of what Elon Musk did?
Listen.
Yes or no, reclaiming my time. If you won't answer, that's a loud answer.
No one has died because of USAID.
The people who have died as a result of cutting off the oxygen of a woman in Burma and denying HIV/AIDS treatment to those in Africa. They are dead now at the hands of Elon Musk and his co-conspirators.
The best part about Brad's 5 minutes is that they eventually ended. Seriously, none of this felt like good faith questioning. It was just one exaggerated claim after another, mixed with nonstop reclaiming my time interruptions like his life depended on it. To make it worse, a huge chunk of his rant had nothing to do with Marco in the first place, which is funny because he was asking for more government officials in the witness seat.